was basically 7 islands. And there were about 20,000 fisher folks. They used to live on the 7 islands, and they had a very primitive lifestyle. Their main occupation was fishing and agriculture. However, they had one patron goddess. Her name was Mumba, and from that they named the 7 islands as Mumbai. I means mother in their local language. So Mumbai. So they call it Mumbai. That is the original name. And they were living like that until 1534. Mainly, of course, they had some kings here, and for normally they were here and they were going back to the Gujarat state because it was one kind of the area. And in 1534, there was Portuguese who came from the east. That's a natural port we have. And they came here and they saw these lovely 7 islands, and they were struck by the tropical islands with palm trees swaying around, and they were very happy to see it. And they said this has a natural port, so let's start some trading from here. And since it was primitive life and they didn't have any particular king, then gradually they took over the 7 islands. And they named the 7 islands in their own language Bombaya, which means beautiful bay. And they were ruling until 1661. But of course, they started a little bit of trading from here, European markets. In 1661, Portugal Princess Catherine Braganza, she got married to Charles II of England. And as a part of the wedding gift, they gave 7 islands to him. And by default, it came under the rule of the British monarch. And they were wondering what to do with the 7 islands off the west coast of India. And that time there was East India Company, and they shown the interest because of the port. And they said, we can take the 7 islands on lease, and they paid £10 of gold a year, and they took over as a lease. And once they came over here, they started again these spices, wood, marble, things like that, as a trading from here to the different parts of European countries, and mainly to the Britain. Of course, it was known as Britain at that time. And slowly, they started prospering. But the main thing came when there was an American Civil War. And at that time, there was an acute shortage of cotton in Britain and in European countries because the ships from America were stopped. And then they found that India is a cotton producing nation. And they decided to export cotton from here. And the export happened from this place called Bombay. By the time they call it Bombay, which means beautiful bay again. And they started exporting from here, and that accelerated the growth of the city. And that's why the many people from different parts of India came and settled down here, because there was tremendous opportunity to earn and deal in the cotton. Lots of traders came from different parts of India and they settled down, and slowly it started growing in momentum. So the trading brought people, they brought money, then the banking system and economy started rolling here. And it went on until 1857. And there was a small mutiny in India against the British rule of East India Company. And by 1858, Queen Victoria took over the 7 islands and India as well. And that time the 7 islands was called Bombay Presidency Island. Now, when Queen Victoria took over, there was a tremendous progress in the 7 islands because there were a lot of people come over here and they started settling, and they realized that that we have to connect all these islands to give them the accommodation. Instead of making many bridges between the 7 islands, they reclaimed the land. That was the landfill, which they have done it here over a period of time. The two purpose to give the accommodation to the growing population, and second, to lay down the railway tracks. And so today you don't find the 7 separate islands, but you find all connected together. And it is growing again. So where we started was east, we are moving towards the west. This side is the south, and we are going towards north. The city started growing from east to west. And in the south, there was a place called where your hotel is situated. That area is known as Colaba, which was an island earlier. But today you don't find the separate islands, they are all connected. And that's why you see that 20,000 people, the fisher folks who used to live here, now they are 24 million. And this city is an island city, and it is densely populated mainly because it's the financial capital of India, and it is also the capital of the state of Maharashtra. And that's why you see there is always an influx of people coming down to the city. On an average, 500 family walks into the city on a daily basis. And they are about 1 million migrating population. They come from the countryside because there is no work there. They go back at the time of monsoon to work in the fields, and then they come after that to the city to earn something here. You'll definitely get some small work here, but it is always a challenge to get a decent shelter. And that's why we are going to walk into the Dharavi today. And why they came. Dharavi came up around 1884. That place was a small island and marshy land. There was nothing there. But since the city was growing, there were people who wanted to work in the ancillary industries, because since the cotton started getting exported, there were about 72 cotton textile mills which came up in the city, and that's why there were always a want of the labor. These people came to work there. They also wanted to become a mechanic and work on the machines and things like that. So they wanted to have the job of ancillary, of course, because before that also there were many other things to, to needs of the people, the population here. But since the south of Bombay, which we are right now, it was mainly for the British people and it was developed by British people, and they thought it is not possible to be there as a labor. So, and the north part, there's a big Salsette Island which is taken over by Portuguese, and that's where the airports are situated today. And that's why they couldn't go there also. So they came in a middle island called Dharavi. There was a little fort around which was built by the Portuguese, so to protect themselves from the attacks of the pirates. So they came down here and they settled in that marshy land. And slowly they started growing because there was always an opportunity to work. And then they started few industries there. The first was a tannery, the leather products. Then became the pottery. And then came the residential area, and last came the recycling area. So these are the four things which are still prevailing in Dharavi. However, tannery has moved in the south, and we can see small part of it because of the pollution part of it. And that's why today you see that there are about 2.5 square kilometer area, and there are 1 million people living in that. And the density is about 418 people in 1 square meter area. So you will be seeing, I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is very densely populated. And secondly, because of that, you find that most of the people are having their own industries. It's a small scale industry because they have to survive. And that's why it is very strategically located now. One side is the suburb, the other side is the city where we are. So the people are not having very decent living condition. Hygiene and sanitation is a little challenging, but people, most of them would not like to move from there. So when we are walking around, I can give you more details because you'll be seeing things and that way. Now that is the small concise history which I gave you, but where we are passing from now, on your left hand side you see Arabian Sea on the west coast, and it's a shallow sea, it's not the port. Port is on the east side, very close to your hotel. And that's why this is the promenade. Being Sunday, you find a lot of people walking, jogging, exercising here. And again, on your right hand side, these are the lines of buildings. These are all Art Deco buildings. So this part was water until 1930, where we are. It was reclaimed by British, and to come up with the accommodation, and that time the Art Deco was prevailing in the European countries, and they did the same replica here. Today that entire Art Deco is under UNESCO. So this is a UNESCO part, and we have almost same numbers of Art Deco in city of Mumbai as you have in Florida. So this is all came between the World War I and World War II. And this is one of the open area for people. They use it quite often in the morning, in the evening, and people like to come over here. And this is the thoroughfare. The city is growing every day, and we have to find ways and means of discongesting them. But still, we are an island city. How much can we reclaim? It's not good for the ocean as well. And that's why we are trying to do as much possible, because city is growing, and people, like about 800,000 people walks into the city every day to work, and then they go back to the suburbs. And that is the Salsette Island, which taken over by Portuguese after independence. When they got it in 1947, they had to move out from there, and that became the part of the suburb. Now, just 2 years before the independence in 1945, that area of suburb where airports are situated as their Bollywood industry setup. That is the film industry, the largest film industry in India, which produces almost 900 films a year in Hindi. And that's why the more and more studios came up, and also the actors, and they also started living there because comparatively the price of the land was less there. So that's when it was in wilderness. So the people started, like people who gathered the wealth, they started having their own villas and things there. And that way, even the film industry came in. So you can understand that south part of Mumbai is commercial, north part of Mumbai, which is the suburbs, is more of the Bollywood influence. And all people who are connected with Bollywood will live in the suburbs. Very few will be here, but now they are all moving up to the north because city is still expanding towards the north now. So this is the situation. This is the glimpse of the city. It is city of contrast, city of opportunity, city of dreams. Because of the Bollywood, youngsters come here to try their luck. And this is whatever you can say, 24/7 city, fast-paced city than any other places in India, and also expensive city. Standard of living is high. And you can see that it's safer for the women to walk around because there are about 60% of the middle class in the population who work, and including women. So this is all the city all about. You'll find everybody's rushing somewhere doing something. So it is mix of everything, and you'll find it thriving city like this. It's a metropolitan city of India. Like financial capital is Mumbai, the political capital is Delhi.